Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. And for today's video, we are taking a look at Transformers Legacy Armada Universe Optimus Prime. Now as you can see, here is the new upcoming Commander class figure by himself and looking very good. And yes, this is the original spark plug, since as of right now he does not come with a minicon. And again, as I said, I think in my Starscream review, it would be very nice if we can get minicons back. I mean, just retool the Micromasters and boom, they're perfect. Because this guy can hold a bunch of Micromasters, as I'll show off later in the review, but there's 0 minicon ports on this guy. And it's like, what are they doing with the backwards compatibility? But that's really my only nitpick for these Armada updates. Alright, and starting off, this is going to be a different type of review, since he is a big figure, and I think it's my first Commander class review, and I have a shit ton of comparisons to make with him. I'm going to be kind of doing things in parts. So for the first part, we're going to be focusing on the main robot himself. Alright, and taking a look at the cab by itself, as you can see, it's very animation accurate. I do love like all the silver paint on the figure. Like, they did not miss out on the paint apps on this dude. Take a quick look. I love the clear windows. Yeah, you can kind of see inside of it, but like, I wasn't expecting them to be painted. I love that these can come off to be like little handheld like blasters, and people are complaining it doesn't combine. But one thing I hated about the original figure is how like one of them just had a peg and one of them didn't. So I love the coherent like flow of the vehicle. And yeah, it's a little long compared to like the Bendy Prime mold or the original one, but it all makes sense because it's the arms for combined mode. And then as you can see, yeah, the hands are right there. It's overall very nicely painted. Underneath. And yeah, I'm really loving how he is. And just to knock out some comparisons real quick with the cab, here he is with the Bendy Prime mold. Granted, mine is the Universe repurposed Shadowglass Ultra Magnus. This is the closest thing I have to the mold, but as you see, they're very similar. Again, it's all Armada Optimus Prime. And I really like how this, the new Legacy one, takes cues from both like the show and then like the game when it comes to like what it appears to look like. Alright, the next one is the Final Battle Optimus Prime. Again, cab only. Beefy boy. Love it. Again, I think it's the same thing with Hotshot. He is a little flat, and I think that goes for all of the cars they're going to be making. It's a little flat because, as you see, it's like a slope here and it's flat here, but watching Armada earlier today, I think this is more accurate than this was. As you see, roughly around the same size as well. Yeah, so it's a pretty big truck. And just for a last minute comparison, here he is next to the Costco Prime, who I know they would never do it, but make Legacy into this deco. It would be amazing. It would really fit a subline, but who knows? Commanders barely get repaints anyways. Alright, and before we get into transformation, I just want to show you guys a few things as well. So this roof is on a slider joint. I personally keep it out like that during truck mode. It just kind of fills it out with more with the trailer, but you can take it off just by sliding it out. And I'm thinking that's where Jetfire is going to go. I know there's been talks of Jetfire, but no Overlord or Overload. But yeah, I think that's where the Jetfire chest is going to go. So you just want to pop it back in. And then right here, and this is a little tough to remove. So his symbol is a nice minicon emblem. If I could take it off. Hold on, Alright, sorry about that. So yeah, as I was saying, you can take this off. And it's not easy to remove. I just took it off. Hold on. There you go. I want to twist it. There you go. And it's not easy, but it's a 5mm peg. So you can put anything in there as well. You can put the gun. But taking a look at this though. Get zoom in on that. Very nicely painted. It is also made of clear plastic. And if the leaks are true, Megatron also will be coming with an emblem like this on his chest. And I like how it's a nice homage to the Minicon things they hold. Again, it would be really nice if we can get a Minicon pack and then like a couple of these to, you know, people to hold or put on. Yeah, overall, it'd be very nice to see. But yeah, again, as you see, very nicely painted. Just one more time around, like that is gorgeous paint. Silver everywhere, nice red. Yeah, very, very nice gray. Hopefully it doesn't yellow. So overall, solid truck too, like it's hefty. Alright, and we can go to transformation now. And here we have Legacy Armada Prime in his robot mode. And I'm really loving this figure. Hits that nostalgia vibe for me. I grew up during Armada car robots and Energon. So I'm really happy to finally have a proper color and chug figure of Armada Optimus. Because as you guys know, I already showed off the 3 I've had. And I have never owned an original colored one. So I'm super glad I waited. And yes, I know it's not like the 2019 model, which will be up in the corner, which if you know me, and if you talk to me, you know I adore that gray model. But since it got scrapped, I was actually kind of got my hopes down, and I was about to go for the Fans Hobbies Naval Commander one, which would be on the screen as well. But that core robot never did it for me. Like, I love the super mode, I love the truck, I love the aesthetic. It's just the robot mode for that didn't scream like the 2019 model did for me. But then we got this, and I was like, you know what? This is perfect. Because the 2019 is more anime, I guess, stylized, while this looks like it jumped straight from the cartoon and or the PlayStation video game. And I love it. And let's take a closer look at his paint job. I mean, it's just downright beautiful. The yellow eyes, the silver paint, the gold trims everywhere. Love how the shoulder joint works, because it's like double joint. Yeah, overall, I just really love this figure. Alright, let's get ready for some articulation. So, as I just showed off, we got the shoulder joint. You can move out like that. Full 360 rotation. He does have a double jointed elbow, and that's due to transformation, but that's just you can just pull off some epic poses. He does have wrist swivel, which is nice because he can hold the Star Saber and move his wrist. His head is on a ball joint, move around 360. And if you're one of the people who don't like yellow eyes on Optimus Prime, both on his head and the super mode head, there are screws on the back. And it's easily like split in half, unlike Earthrise Optimus Prime. And you can just paint his eyes. So he has no waist swivel, which I know some people were complaining about, but he can still pull off pretty cool poses without it, since this is the arms of the super mode. But if you move these flaps out of the way, his leg can go all the way out. If you flip the back one all the way back, you can do the nice splits, and you can hear that nice ratchet joint too. His knee can go at a 90-degree elbow, or 90-degree bend, my bad. It's the elbow for the super mode. Really articulated heels, and he has toe movement. It's for transformation, but he still has it, so overall I'm super I don't know. I know I'm keep repeating myself, but it's generally an amazing figure, and he's well worth being commander. And to start off the accessories, first what you want to do is open the chest compartment. And normally the matrix would be in there, but I took it out just so we can see real quick. Now this was something I was not expecting them to do. I was expecting them to like just keep the matrix in the chest. Give me 1 second. Like what they did with back then in the day, right? But I'm so glad it can be removed and it can be held by, you know, no one, because he doesn't have opening hands. But I will, at the end of the video, during the photos, you'll see Sparkplug. He can do the nice holding up pose. So yeah, what you want to do is just put it in the chest. And there we go. Closer. And it makes that nice orb in the middle red. There you go. And then if you close that up and then bring it down again, you have nice detailing right in the chest. And then one other nice hint that Neo Labs on YouTube pointed out, his link will be in the description below. There are Minicon logos right there. So that's cool. Really nice nod to something that we may never get. Yeah. And then one last thing he has is the gun. I mean, it's pretty much the same as the original, just all black. It's slightly smaller. But yeah, I mean, he holds it just fine. And he can pull off some amazing poses as well. Zoom out real quick. Alright. And yeah, again, I know I keep repeating myself, but I'm adoring this figure so much. He's solid, he's hefty, and overall just a nice update to the original design as well. And yeah, let's get into some comparisons. And then after the comparisons, before I guess we end the video, I'm going to go into the trailer. Now with the trailer, I won't on camera transform it because it is a little bit complex for me to do it on camera and I don't want to risk breaking anything. But yeah, so we're going to start with comparisons first. Alright, and starting comparisons, here he is next to the original mold. Final battle Optimus Prime. If you would stand, that'd be great. There you go. And again, you can see where they took inspiration from the original toy, unlike the 2019 model, which was very stylized. And I think it works. It works out very nice. I love how it looks. I hope we can get the Power Links deco in this mold, but not these colors. I really hope we do get the more anime color, so the more primal homage deco. But other than that, it's really good. Again, I love the size because it's basically the same, just more articulate. And just for the sake of doing all my Armada Optimuses, here is Costco Prime. Again, I would love to see them do this deco. Nah, he's not standing, I'll just hold him. But yeah, I would love for them to do this deco. Give me an Armada Sentinel Prime, you know? Keeping with the Costco, here he is next to my only Overload, which I think is better. And I can show off his combined form as well during the super mode. But yeah, looks pretty good. Here he is next to Overcast, or Final Battle Jetfire. As you can see, he's pretty big. So I really do hope they make a new Jetfire. One that's a little bit properly in scale. But I don't know how that would work. If he'll be leader or commander, because he turns into legs. Here he is next to Universe Ultra Magnus. And again, I personally think the 2019 model was going more based off this figure, while this one, as you saw, is more closer to the original. Alright, here is next to Legacy Armada Star Screen. Previous Armada review. And overall, they look amazing together. Oh, geeking out so much, especially in, you know what, let me just do it right now. And in Hot Shot as well. They all look amazing together. Say what you will about Hot Shot, they all just look amazing, and I'm so glad we're finally getting updates on my childhood. And I know we're still getting G1, but I'm glad they're really focusing on the Armada Unicron trilogy as well as Beast Wars. So it's so far Legacy is still knocking everything out of the park. All right, let's take these out. Here he is next to Velocitron Override. Looks pretty good. Here he is next to Galaxy Force Upgrade Optimus Prime, which I have on two different shelves. I have him on my Armada, and I have Galaxy Upgrade on my Galaxy Force shelf, because I still refuse to believe they're the same continuity. But yeah, looks pretty good. I don't know how they're going to do Energon updates, but see how that goes. Probably won't be a fan of it. Alright, here we have him next to Red Alert. Now I've had him since I was a child, so yes, he has been customized and aged and overall very loved. But I really hope we can get a nice Legacy one, because he is a little too big, but as of right now on my shelf, it's fine. Alright, there we go. Almost done with the comparisons. Here he is next to Armada Smokescreen. If you would like to stand. There you go. And personally, I don't think we need a updated version of Smokescreen. I mean, just like Hot Shot, it kind of can work. I don't know how else they would do it, but it'd be cool. I'd probably buy it. There you go. Here he is next to my version of Armada Blur, which is just the Cybertron repaint and new head. It would be nice to get a new Blur, but if we get a new Blur, that'd be funny which mold they would use. Point Blank or 86. Here he is next to Legacy Animated Prow, which is amazing. I love how we're getting animated Chug, Armada Chug, so many figures, and they all look around the same aesthetic. I love it how I can have them all on the same shelf. Good size there. And for the sake of it being, you know, Optimus Prime, give me 1 second. Here he is next to Earthrise Optimus Prime. Very good size. Looking good. And last but not least, here is next to Premium Finish Optimus Prime. More along the lines of the Voyager height. So yeah, really good. And here we have the trailer. And that's pretty much it for the trailer. I mean, it's nice that there's no springs or missiles, or that's one thing I didn't like about the original, is it was all very gimmick heavy. But you can roll, especially to flip these out. They could be nice little kickstands. And yeah, it rolls very nicely. Take them back out real quick. And to compare it with the original trailer, let's get the Costco one out. Oh, it's a pretty more condensed version of the trailer, I would say. Some things are... Oh, I have that backwards. My bad. There you go. Like I said, it's a more condensed version, right? So it's... There you go. It's much more condensed, less bigger, less heavy. I think it works well. As you saw in the beginning of the video, it flows with the truck. It's a pretty solid piece of plastic too. Like, hey, this chunky piece. Move that out of the way. And overall, has the nice details all over the trailer. We got the super mode waist. And now one thing I do love about this thing. Close that up real quick. One thing that it can do is, if you have the original overload, you would see that it has the nice peg right there at the bottom. And then you grab the peg and you just kind of, there you go. And it holds it very well. Oh. It's a little easier once you have the actual cab so this trailer doesn't go forward, but yeah, it just kind of plugs in right there. And it kind of just, voila. Again, it would be better if the cab was there, but there you go. And then that'd be cool if they can somehow make a new Jetfire to do what the original one did on here. It would be pretty cool. And here is the base mode. Like I said earlier in the video, I didn't want to transform it on camera just because I don't want to risk breaking anything, and overall it's just a lot of stuff to do. But I will transform this into the super mode legs though on camera. But taking a look at the base mode, it's alright. I mean, I personally never cared for the base mode. I know he uses it, I think episode 4 or 5 of Armada when they're on like the snow. And it looks good with the mini people. It's just once you bring in like Hot Shot, it's kind of, I don't think lackluster, I think that's the right word. But like he's just kind of, just, I mean, it's alright for a deluxe, but I mean, Optimus Prime can't stand on it, alright? He can't do what the original one did. And I think it's fine. I mean, they focus more on the articulation of the super mode rather than the base mode, which I know people are bitching about because of the gimmicks, or I don't think gimmicks are needed. It's perfectly fine the way it is. But yeah, taking a closer look, I mean, again, it works perfect for like the mini cons. I mean, I don't know who has space to display it in base mode, but I really think Micromasters should be turned into mini cons because that's what they basically are. I mean, they fit perfectly with them. Oh, even Core Class fits pretty well on this thing. Good Core Class Hot Rod. Like, it's pretty good, but it's not the best base mode. And this isn't even, I think, the official configuration. I just went based off the Prime versus Prime video, which will be in the link in the description. How like the feet flip out, and I think the gun as well. I'm not too sure, but again, I personally won't keep it in base mode. I never liked the whole spring gimmick because mine's never worked. Both of them I have to pry them open to transform into super mode anyways, so I'm okay that this is the part of the figure that got quote-unquote sacrificed because it makes the super mode overall better. So yeah, let's get to transforming that base into legs. here he is in super mode. And wow, this is pretty big. It's almost almost as big as my display. But yeah, there he is. I love how he looks. Again, there's the super clean back he has. Overall, very nice. Now, I know when like the leaks came out and like stuff like that, that he would have Jetfire hands. You know, he has the 5mm. Yeah, it doesn't go in. Just kind of stays there, and it's kind of a eyesore if you keep his hands open. But closed, perfect. I love the yellow eyes. I know people were complaining about his eyes being yellow and not red, but I kind of dig the yellow eyes. I think they work. But again, there's a screw on the back of his head. You can unscrew. And a lot of pieces on this guy are screws that are really easy to customize. So it's like they're trying to get people to buy more to customize. So that's interesting. And yeah, I love how it looks. Again, up here, as you see, there's no mini-con port. There's a 5mm hole. Or, give me a second. Where he is. Sorry. So yeah, if you have a Micromaster, and we take a Micromaster, and you can just plug him right on. And I don't understand why they don't make mini-cons. That's like perfect. Sorry, it's out of view on the camera, but like, look at that. That is perfect. Spark plug goes right there, because like the original one does not go on them, and it kind of isn't all that cool. But you know, as long as you have the original one and like a Shapeways peg, you can always do what you will. Just like what happened when I did with my Starscream. It is Shapeways peg. Because if I take it off real quick, ooh, a little tight. There you go. I put it in here. It fits just fine. There you go. And this, for example, get Swindle. You just put them right on as well. So it would have been nice if, yeah, I fell right off. It would have been nice if he at least came with 2 mini-con ports there to kind of, you know, if you do have the original mini-cons, put them on. But it's whatever. It is what it is, you know. And before we get into any articulation and posing, if you go back around right here, he has backwards compatibility with the original Overload. Take that. You're just going to slide it right in. And it's a very tight connection too. So you should be all good on that. Hold on. Hold on a minute. Ah, I transformed Overload wrong. Give me 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. So yeah, you take him, you attach him, like so. Put everything down on it. Put these behind the arms. And then voila! You have him in the configuration. Now he is super top heavy with this, but thanks if you just kind of use all the articulation points on this figure, it should be able to go. Come on. I know I did it before. Come on. Ooh! Like I said, it's very top heavy. Good thing this guy has solid ratchets. Come on. There we go. There you go. Yeah, again, it's not the most stablest, but I mean, it stays on pretty tight. I was hold up. But yeah. It would be nice if we get a new Overload so he's not as top heavy, but even if we don't, I do like how that's backwards compatible. And yeah, it sucks again, no minicom ports, but it's nice that they did this because we're probably not getting an overload to go with them. All right, getting into articulation, you kind of did see where he was. So full 360 at the shoulder, all the way out, all the way in. Knees, the elbows are just like the prime knees, 90 degrees. 360 wrist swivel. This flap can move up, and he can kick all the way out. And then this back piece can lift up kind of like that. You can't really, because of the back. Knee, heavy ratchet, 90 degrees, bend right there. Ankles on a nice pivot, very nice. He does have toe, but that's because of transformation. And yes, he does have the waist. So yeah, he has the waist in super mode, but not in the core bot, which is alright. It means you can pull off some epic poses with the super mode. Alright. Let's get into comparisons. Alright, starting off comparisons, we're going to do the super modes of all the primes. Big boy. There's one. Here's final battle with Jetfire attached. There you go. Again, sorry if they're out of camera. Pretty big. Alrighty then. There you go. Obviously, he is smaller than them, but and when he lacks in height, he really does kind of bring more with articulation and more stability. Because I hate, I'll be honest, I hate that, messing with that. Because it's mechanized and mine doesn't work and he's all loose and overall just a pain in the ass to do. But this one, I love it. Solid, easy to do, easy to play with, no springs, no gimmicks, no nothing. Oh, and then we got Jetfire right there. But yeah, I love how all three look. This isn't how they're displayed on my shelf. I'm not a big fan of the super modes because I love the inner bot of Armada Optimus. But he has good, I guess, presence as well. So if you have the two original ones, you have Armada Megatron right here. You can have, I think, Energon Magnus right here, and then have him in the middle. That's a perfect display right there. And I guess just keeping him right there before we take him out. Just some quick comparisons on how big he is. So here's Hotshot. Let me see if I can find him. Yeah, here's Legacy Prow. So 1 deluxe, 2 deluxes. Again, he's a pretty big guy. He's not as big as, let's say, Minosaur or Jetfire, who I do not have at the moment for the review, but he is in scale with the Armada people, and I think that works out very nicely. And one last one for the comparison group shot. There you go. Overall, looks amazing. Again, has presence, very hefty, very solid. I think he's almost as solid as the full Minosaur combined. And I think even Jetfire, he is a hefty guy, hefty figure. And he's very posable. No QC on mine so far. That I'm lucky. No ratchets have broken, unlike my Skyquake. All his ratchets are super tight. And yeah. So let's move on to some final thoughts. Alright, and for some final thoughts. Overall, 10 out of 10 figure for me. He already bumps his way up to the my top commander class. Jetfire's, he's cool. I mean, I only have the Shatterglass Jetfire. Skylynx was my number 1, but now he's my number 2. Rodimus is last just because of him just being Rodimus, but it doesn't mean he's bad. And Minosaur / Motormaster is obviously before Rodimus, but after Jetfire, and he just bumps it to number 1. Probably because I'm biased and I grew up with it, but it's just overall, he feels worth the price. He's hefty, he's solid, And overall, cannot wait to see how Megatron looks. I really hope he's as good as these three are. Again, Hotshot may have his problems, but he's still overall pretty good of a figure. I don't know. I just really hope Megatron looks good, because if he doesn't look good, then I'm stuck getting the Fans Hobby one, who's kind of out of scale. But yeah, his paint's beautiful. His articulation is great. And I really recommend him when he does come out. So yeah, this is review 20. I'm not too sure what I want to do with the channel just yet. I'm getting a little busy right now in life. So don't forget to check out the podcast. We should be uploading the newest episode tonight as I'm uploading this. So link will be in the description below. Don't forget to join the Discord server. Again, link will be in the description below. And don't forget to check out my Twitter and Instagram for more photography. And again, the full gallery will be on Instagram and Twitter for him. And yeah, so don't forget to like, subscribe. This is Morgan, signing off.